The third child tax credit payment hit most bank accounts today. We know you have questions, and we are here to get you answers. Joining us for the next 15 minutes to answer your questions is Kevin Robinson from Robinson Tax and Accounting Services and Ryan Dodson from Liberty Tax Services. They can handle all of your tax-related questions when it comes to this child tax credit payment. Now, to get those questions to our experts, this is what you need to do. You need to text those questions to 336-379-5775. And again, this is a text only, so please don't call. All right, first and foremost, let's go over why we are getting this advanced child tax credit now. So Ryan, why are we getting this now?
Well, with the last tax bill that was passed, what the Congress decided to do is that they decided to up the child tax credit to either $3,000 or $3,600, depending upon the age of your child. And they decided to also fund half of that during the year. So you should receive half of your child tax credit here during 2021 and the other half when you file your tax return in 2022.
Okay, and so this time around, it was September the 15th. It is a Wednesday, and this is kind of what we should be getting used to, right, Kevin? Because these payments are going to come every single month like clockwork.
Tanya, they should come obviously every single month like clockwork starting in July, and it is the 15th of each month, July through December, unless the 15th falls on a weekend. Then most likely would come in on Friday, but generally the 15th of every month like clockwork if all things go well. So.
Okay, and so again, it is either $250 for each child, or it's $300 for each child. And Ryan, kind of go through why you get either the $250 or the $300 and what the age differences are.
Well, the age difference is 5 years old. So if you have a child that's under 5 years old, then you're going to get $3,600 per child. If they're above that, you're going to get $3,000 per child. And this is, of course, if your household income is under certain limits, mainly just say $160,000 if you're married, is a little bit lower if you have a different filing status. You can still get the old child tax credit even if you earn up to $400,000, and that's $2,000 per child, regardless of their age.
Okay. All right. This person is asking, my wife and I had a baby a few weeks ago. Because of our quirk with our jobs, we have to file our taxes separately, not jointly. Is there a preference or difference in who claims our child as the dependent when we file?
Well, that's a good question. I guess basically, typically it's better, it's more advantageous to file jointly. But again, whoever claims the child would obviously be, eligible for that credit on the return. It'll be a 2021 event if they just had a child this year, because the advance credit basically is based on the 2020 return or the 2019. So it'll be a 2021 tax event, but it sounds like then it would show up on their 2021 return filed next year.
Yeah, Ryan, got any extra thoughts on whether one spouse claims the child over the other?
Well, what we advise our clients in is have both spouses come in at the exact same time, and we'll figure out which way gives them the best legal tax answer, whether it's the husband or whether it's the wife, whichever spouse it may be, or if, like Kevin said, sometimes it's best just to file together.
Okay. All right. So someone is asking, will this advanced child tax credit payment affect my tax return? Kevin.
Well, that's certainly a good question. It's probably on everybody's mind. And generally, I know a lot of people say, well, is this advanced child credit taxable? Well, the quick answer is no, but the full answer is that it could, depending on if their advanced credit is greater than what they're actually due on the 2021 return, then they may have to pay some of that back when they file 2021. So they need to kind of take a look at their situation in 2021, knowing that the credit advance is on 2020 return springs from that. So there's a lot of things of reconciling going on with this credit coming into the 2021 tax filing season, which we will do next year. So it could affect them very possibly, but then again, it's based on their particular tax situation.
All right, so here's the thing. If you want a really big tax deduction at tax time, what you probably want to do is unenroll at this point. Is that right, Ryan?
Absolutely. You can go to the child tax credit portal on the IRS website, and you can unenroll. And if you unenroll, you're not going to receive any of the advanced payments, and it just means your refund or the amount that is due when you file your tax return in 2022 will be a lot bigger than if you go ahead and receive the advance payments.
It is just basically a button, and it says, manage the child tax credit, and all you have to do is click that, and then you have to put in some information, but you are able to unenroll now. There has been this weird thing that the both parents have to unenroll. So if you are married and you file together, both of you actually have to go on the IRS website and do that. Isn't that right, Kevin?
That is correct. That's probably what may be tripping people up. Like, well, I thought I unenrolled. My husband did, or my wife did, or did or didn't. And basically, both parents filing jointly have to unenroll to stop the advance credit from coming. And I also say, like, as Ryan said, basically, if let's say the income is higher this year for filing jointly than it was in 2020, then they may need that full child tax credit to offset their tax bill in 2021. So there's some tax planning that they have to factor into this credit too.
All right, so both parents hear that, unenroll both of you, otherwise you're going to get a partial payment from that advanced child tax credit. All right, we're going to continue to take your questions. We'll be back in just a moment.